What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, we back with Soul to Soul Travel here with part two of what do Europeans really think of the US. Um, Part one, I feel like I definitely agree with majority of what he said. We definitely see eye to eye on majority of everything. At least of what Europeans think of US. So I was able to confirm with him what what most Europeans were thinking about the US. So we're here with part two. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations. Let's jump right into it.
Okay, so today on Soul to Soul Travels, I happened to come across this article, and here it is. I'll just throw it up right now. We can read it together. Non-Americans are sharing things Americans aren't ready to hear, and buckle up. Their opinions are absolutely brutal. I've gone through all 25, and I'm going to make a comment on all 25. That's for sure. It's kind of interesting, but I'm telling you right now, you need to back off at number 16. Just back off on number 16. Next on Soul to Soul Travels.
Not number 16.
Lucky number 16. Back off this, man. Just back off this. You all eat too much sugar. Who doesn't like sugar? Who doesn't like?
Sometimes you can't help it. You know what's in the food. It just everything tastes better with sugar. Is it too much? It could be. It is. I don't know. I feel like most people they say that are European. They say America is a lot of sugar. But have you ate a lot of American food to make that statement or that suggestion that it's too much sugar, or we just thinking it's too much? I feel like you can't knock it till you try it first. But with certain things. Well, let me continue.
Sugar. I love sugar. I am only about, I eat a lot of sugar. I am only about 5 pounds overweight, maybe 10. 15 tops. 15 tops.
20 on a bad day.
All right. Number 17. Seriously, though, why is it so expensive to call an ambulance? Well, I'll tell you why it's so expensive to call an ambulance. Because they can. They know they have you over a barrel. You need to call an ambulance. It's a medical emergency. And they're kind of hoping that if you have insurance, that it's going to be taken care of via the insurance. If not, you have just thrown yourself into debt just by calling an ambulance. Sad but true, people are making life and death decisions when it comes to calling an ambulance, whether they can afford it or they can't afford it. Can I put somebody into a car and drive them there myself, or do I get the ambulance here right away and have them take it? It's sad. And once again, it's the sad state of affairs in the United States when it comes to medical and health. So that's why they charge so much to call an ambulance. It's, once again, to use that word, it's disgusting. So let's move on to number 18.
I'm sitting here thinking too, like, how we push, like, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing to have life insurance. But if you're familiar with the policies that come with life insurance, it's a lot of money. A whole lot of money, to the point, like, if you had a family member that was on life insurance and say, for instance, you had to call the ambulance, had to get them in the dock, and they didn't make it, they didn't make it. You looking at about 200 to 500 grand. And if they had a policy, half of that is going to be spent on funeral and those expenses for the hospital. Is that why we get so much money for life insurance? To pay the hospitals back once they pronounce us, dead or something? I just thought of that. I'm like, that's a lot of money, but I'm like, it's half of that money that some people get, because some people get policies worth 500,000, a million, or probably even more. Half of that is probably going to go towards medical costs, potentially.
Number 18, everybody's favorite subject. Tipping in America is BS. Owners of restaurants and places need to pay normal wages. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I think everybody should make a living wage, that's for sure. And I think that the people that are making minimum wage and living off tips would probably agree with you as well.
Yeah.
I understand the tipping here in Europe and how it works, and I still tip. We throw in a few euros here and there when we get really good service, and there's a lot of really good service here. But tipping here in Europe and tipping in America, two totally different things, night and day. And in America, it's expected. I mean, it literally is expected. And they will call you out if you don't tip normally. So, nevertheless, yes, I agree they need to be paid a minimum wage, and that probably would solve that problem, but it is so ingrained into the American culture right now, probably not. But nevertheless, let's move on to number
Hey,
19.
I'm sorry. These are some good topics. So, and if you think about it, If they were paying the waiters and waitresses like the minimum wage, you gotta think they're probably looking at $8 to $10, maybe 12, depending on what restaurant they're working at. Right? In 2 weeks, they'll probably make, depending on the hours, $400 to $500 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks work. Say for instance, somebody worked, let's say 5 days out of the week. So you looking at 10 days, that's gonna make you $400, $500. Depending on the restaurant, and if you working on weekend, if you work weekends, there's a possibility you're gonna get that $300 to $400 in a day. That's it in the States. So do some of them probably feel, depending on where they work, yes, we should get, minimum wage. But there are some out here that probably wouldn't care, because as long as they making more money getting tips, they know they're gonna get tips. There's plenty of restaurants, like, especially with a lot of women working there, they know they're gonna get tips, and they know they're not gonna go home with less than $200 in a day. Just saying, but minimum wage would be nice.
I don't know. Your lack of a cohesive trade union movement screws your lowest income workers and allows/encourages your political parties to pander only to the elite. I don't know what to say to that other than I can tell you this. Political parties pandering to only the elite. Come on, really? That's all they do is pander to the elite. That is all they do. Part of the political process. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Money in hand. Absolutely. They pander to the elite. But other than that, don't know what to say about that. Let's move on to number 20. Number 20. Yes. 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 Here it is. Your education system is far worse than you think. You know what? No truer words were ever spoken than
Factual.
that right there. I just, in traveling and talking to people, having a daughter in school, going through school myself, I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that this is going to be America's biggest downfall. We are not educating our children the way that they need to be educated, the way that other countries are educating their children, teaching them multiple languages, just reading, writing, and arithmetic. When I was in school, those were the three basics, and then other things were thrown in on top of that. In the United States right now, it's a sad state of affairs when it comes to education and what some of these kids are learning and how they're learning it and what's going on. We are so far behind the rest of the world. It's not even funny.
I honestly think like the education system in about 10 years, I'll say 10, being generous here, in the States, I feel like it's definitely gonna go down. I just feel like teachers are tired. They're voicing their opinions, and they want to be heard. Teachers here in the state, they go through a lot, especially for the pay. Then not to mention for those teachers to even be put in that position, that's making them only what 40,000, maybe 50,000 a year, depending on where you're at, probably less than that, and they're paying for this degree that costing them 100,000. They're tired, they're fed up, and there's some great teachers out here, and they're tired and fed up. 10 years, I feel like most teachers they're gonna be like, "Hey, we finna find something else to do." I feel like it's getting to that point, all because we know we're not getting the right information to these students, and we just know like teachers should be valued more. At least here in the states, I can't say much for how it is in Europe, but I know here in the states, teachers need to be valued more because I feel like they love what they do, but the value is low for what they do, and they don't get appreciated enough. Having a teacher appreciation week, that ain't enough just for a week to be appreciated. It's not enough at all.
And once again, I believe that what we are teaching our children right now in American schools will carry on to future generations, and it will be a serious downfall of America. I believe that. But that's just me. They probably will disagree. Let me know what you think about that one. Nevertheless, your education system is far worse than you think. You know what? I think most Americans realize how bad it really is. And once again, their hands are tied and really can't do anything about it. Let's move on to 21. Let's get away from that. 21. Yeah, this is interesting. The world does not revolve around your country. I know that. You know that. Don't tell the Americans that. America just thinks that the whole world, the sun rises and sets on them. That's not a bag on America. That's just the way that they were brought up. They're a very prideful country. And not everybody thinks that way, but times are changing, and yes, I do realize that the world does not revolve around our country, and I think a lot of Americans are starting to realize that as well. The world does not revolve around our country. So, with that being said, let's move on to 22. All right, number 22. Not everyone speaks English. In the rest of the world, learn another language. It's good for the soul and the brain. Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that. And I can remember being in high school, and we had to take, I want to say at the time, it was either French or Spanish. And unfortunately, my attitude was, along with a lot of people's attitudes, was, why do I need to learn that? There's no need for that. I don't plan on going anywhere. The rest of the world speaks English anyways. And even now in high school, I don't think it's a required curriculum. When I was growing up in high school, a foreign language was a required curriculum. But yes, I agree with you. You talk to people in Europe, and they're speaking 2, 3, and 4 languages. Little kids are being taught 2 and 3 languages, and they're picking right up on it. And the reason they're picking up on it is because their brain is like a sponge, man. It just soaks in everything. But anyways, yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that. We should be learning another language, and I'm trying to learn Dutch. My wife is getting really good at it, but at my age, it's tough, and I wish I had learned a different language.
I ain't gonna lie, it is tough because I was actually doing Duolingo, and learning Swedish. When I did it the first time, I started catching on getting. But when you take a break from it, I ain't gonna lie, like I might have to start all the way over, cause like when you take a break from it, it is totally different. Like I'm definitely gonna have to start from square one, do Duolingo for the Netherlands too.
My age, it's tough, and I wish I had learned a different language when I was in high school or even younger. But nevertheless, number 22, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Wish I had done that. One of my biggest regrets. So let's move on to 23. Number 23, we're getting close to the end. The World Series only happens in the U.S. I would agree with that. It does only happen in the U.S., but what makes it even stranger is we don't even invite other countries to play, and we call it the World Series. Why? Way beyond me. I'm not really sure why. But my personal opinion is if they're going to call it the World Series, they need to invite teams from other
Facts.
countries. That's just me. That would be the right thing to do. But nevertheless, yes, the World Series only happens in the U.S. Yeah. Number 24. Okay. Number 24. Yes, very, very American. If you tell me you're Polish, but were born in the USA, never went to Poland, never learned the language, and you don't give an F, yeah, you're not Polish. You're American. And the same goes for any other nationality. Yeah, Americans love to do that, especially once again around St. Patrick's Day. If they are 1,000th, have ancestry going back to Ireland, they consider themselves
See,
Irish.
the ancestry.com then got on that message. They think they got a little bit of everything from that ancestry.com.
Have ancestry going back to Ireland, they consider themselves Irish. But anybody, I agree with the sentence, by the way, anybody that's born in the United States is an American citizen. That's what you are. You may have ancestry going back to these particular countries, but don't say you're Irish. Don't say you're Polish. My last name is Dubois. I don't say that I'm French. I'm an American. So nevertheless, I agree with this statement 100%. If you're proud of where you were born, you need to say, I'm an American, this is where I was born. I have family or I have roots that go back to these areas right here, but you are certainly an American if you were born in the United States. That is for sure. So let's move on to the last drum roll for number 25. Here we go. Number 25. This is an interesting statement. Number 25, here it is. We aren't jealous of you, like, at all. And you know something? I can tell you this. There are a lot of Americans that would disagree with that. It doesn't make it true, but they just would disagree with it. But once again, Tammy and I having the opportunity to travel a lot of places and now living in Europe, specifically the Netherlands, I can honestly say that people in Europe are not jealous of the United States because to me, they have it all over us in many, many different areas. They realize how much better off that they are in many, many areas, especially when, and I don't want to jump on this bandwagon too much, especially when they can watch the news and they can see how disjointed the United States is. Everything from guns to school shootings to politics.
And he has a point there because, like, I know, and I have some people in the comments. I don't even know if they ever been out of Europe, but y'all, I ain't gonna lie, y'all be ruthless sometimes. Like, y'all, it sucks there. I ain't never going there. It's horrible there. I don't know if you ever, but I mean, just seeing the news and stuff, it's like, dang, we do kind of like, from an outsider looking in, it looks horrible. It looks very bad. And for me, learning and watching all these videos, I can say I mean, I'm not jealous of Europe or nothing, but yeah, I feel like Europe does have some very better things than the U.S. If not everything. Everything is set up for their people. Here, everything is set up to get that money.
The United States is everything from guns to school shootings to politics we all read them, the past 25 of them right there. How far behind schooling it is, how expensive it is for health care, and the list goes on and on and on. And for an American to think that anybody in Europe would be jealous of us in America is just so far-fetched. Is America a great place? I mean, it really is. Do people want to go and visit? Absolutely. Really want to go visit. We run into people all the time that ask us where we're from, and we always tell them we're from California, and they love it. They want to go. I usually have one of two comments: it's a great place to visit, but you don't want to live there. Or trust me when I tell you, you're not missing much. That's for sure. So anyways, yes, I don't think that you are jealous of us. I'm sure that there are a lot of people in the United States that feel that you are, but the bottom line is they don't know what Tammy and I know, and what other people that have
Facts.
traveled to Europe know, is this is a great place to live with great people that are so warm and so embracing. The governments, yes, just like any other government, has its issues, but they seem to have it all together. That's for sure. That's my opinion. I'm just going to take it and run with it. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Tried to keep it a little on the light side. There was some heavy stuff in there. Didn't want to make it too long. I'm sorry if it really stretched out. But from soul to soul, from soul to soul travels. We're going to leave that in there because I'm telling you, I go through that all the time. From soul to soul travels. Till next time, thank you for subscribing. We'll see you there.
You sound like me. That's how I be messing up. Wow. I be getting my tongue be doing some different things when I be talking fast, or But yeah, I like this. This one actually was good too. Just because of the statements that were being made. Like I said in the beginning, like I definitely had to give my input and my opinion on it, just because like it is some serious things, some major things. Even when it comes to the sugar. Uh, I know this week I'm gonna have me a sandwich too with the sugar, with the breaded sugar cake, or the bread cake or whatever. I'm gonna still have me a sandwich. It's just what I'm used to. I tried the wheat stuff and all. Hey, it's a lot of sugar. I guess me personally, I don't eat too much candy or sugar. Like I like trying like different candies and stuff, and I have tried some candies from different countries, or really just a different country, which was Sweden. And I did taste a major dip. It wasn't too sweet, but it was still good. It was great. Probably a little bit better. But hey, this was good. Y'all let me know what you think of the U.S. Maybe I need to find some questions and find what do Americans really think of Europeans or something like that. Do a video, find some people, find some questions or statements that's been made, and see what I can find. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.